Coming up this week on the Rock for Him podcast, we start our series on the unsung heroes of Christian music scene. We talk to Erin Parker.
Everyone, it's Erin Parker. If you're going to rock, you're going to rock for him.
All right, well, hello and welcome into the Rock for Him podcast. I am your host, Sanchez, and look, we have a full house tonight. Loving it. Joining me tonight, my little sister, Kira Starr. Kira, welcome back. We missed you.
I missed you guys too. Thank you.
Also, the big boy, Jeremy Brown. Bro, how's it going?
Good. Excited for tonight.
Yes, indeed. And if anyone has watched this show or followed any of the bands that we play on Rock for Him, you know exactly who this is because you have seen her pictures all over social media. It is our sincere honor and pleasure to talk to Miss Erin Parker. Erin, how are you tonight?
I am doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. So, normally we kick off the show with, how did you name your band? But we're going to skip that. How did you get into photography?
Oh, man. I was probably around 15 years old. There was a time frame from age 10 to 15. We moved from Louisiana to Arkansas, by the way. And during this time, my mom, she took photos before of my family, but this particular time, it just stopped. And around 15, I said, you know what? I want to record my memories, and I want to remember what I looked like at 15 when I turned 50. So I think I need to take some responsibility with that. And so I started to take pictures at church events, youth group events, just various like church camp, anything involved with church, and then anything with my friends. And it just kind of grew from there into portraits, into weddings at a time, and also pursued photojournalism and geared towards church ministry, and did that for a little while, as well as camp ministry, and then now what I'm doing now, concert photography.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta tell you, like, anybody can take a picture, but you have some skill. Like, most of the pictures that, like, granted, I grab my phone, I'm like, all right, smile, and I take a picture, and most of the pictures that I get are people looking like, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
But you have definitely got some skill, so I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. And definitely every stage of photography throughout my teenage and adult life, I think has prepared me for the next stage. And so going into concerts was actually pretty natural for me. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but I do enjoy it.
Do you have a preference on genre that you like to?
Oh yeah, rock and metalcore. Give me the hair. Give that to me. I love it so much. It's so much fun. I have done some country, a little bit of CCM, and those are good, but rock and metalcore, like they give energy. It's so great, and there's so much opportunity to be more artistic because they really give it. Many bands, they're just so good live, and I love that I get to smile while I'm capturing them, and often I'm singing along with them as I'm photographing. Some people have noticed that, hey, I caught you singing. I'm like, yeah, I know every song and I'm enjoying it. I'm a fan too. While I'm doing my job, I'm also a fan.
I love that. And I'm sure getting pics of the crowd too, sometimes like you get to see those raw moments of a fan listening to their favorite song, worshiping with them. I mean, that's got to be beautiful too.
Absolutely. The emotion of people, they let themselves go. And you can tell that there's so much joy. And if there's anything going on in their lives that they've brought into that place, they let it go for that brief period of time and just sing in unity with a bunch of other people. And they get to forget what's happening. If maybe even as well, like music is helping and carrying through what they're dealing with, and it's just part of their story. You capture that sometimes as well. Sometimes the pit area is a little dark, but I do try very hard to get in there. But just capturing people, even in the mosh pit, like risking your life at times, but it's amazing, and it's a unity and a oneness like no other.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, not only risking your life in the mosh pit, but risking your gear.
Oh, yes. I've had a couple times where someone backed into me, and then they're like, well, you hit me. I was like, well, I was just standing here. But that has happened a couple times. Get some rug burn or some grass burns on your knees if it's outside. So that has happened some. Nothing terribly crazy just yet, but if that ever happens, I'll definitely tell that story.
Very nice. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I mean, so what's been your favorite festival or concert photograph?
Oh, my favorite definitely has been KCF. I've only been there 2 years, but especially my first year, it was just I'll never forget my first time there. Just I loved every minute of it, and I just loved that I was continuously going and getting so many photographs, and I loved I had so many to work through. But that I don't know, it just really stuck out to me. Of people, not many people knew who I was. A few people did, and then everyone knew who I was by the end of the festival, and everyone welcomed me in as family. That's probably what really stuck out to me. Is why it's my favorite, is that it is family at Kingdom Come. It's like, yeah, I want to come back to this. I love this. So that really sticks out to me a lot, as well as like Chains Unchained Festival. That would be the next one. They're pretty much the same way as well. Just family, loving. We're here for you for anything beyond your photography. Like, hey, how are you doing? You know, as a person, and how's your life going? And so just family of these festivals that bring in people together, and you can call them family. I just love that. So that really sticks out to me.
So what other festivals are you going to be doing this year?
Let's see. I did a few earlier already. I think the next one is the Summerfest. That's in Nawada. That's going to be in September. That's a smaller one. And then Rock in the River. Yeah, that one's going to be in Harrison. That's going to be in October. As of right now, those are the last two that I have for the year. There were a couple more, but they were canceled. And I have a few smaller concerts here and there. But wrapping up pretty good. I've done a lot already this year.
How did you get into... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go.
I was just going to ask, how did you get into doing like concert photography?
Kind of like where it's like the logistics of it.
Like, I mean, what about it drew you to going into concerts and being like, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to take pictures of these people on stage. Like,
okay. Well, I've been a concert junkie pretty much my whole life. And so has my parents, my dad especially. He lived through the era of Van Halen, Aerosmith, Queen, Heart. Like, he saw every single one of those bands, and he has his own stories. And so as a teenager, I just followed in his footsteps. And so I've always been a concert junkie. And when I started with photography, I did want to do concerts. I was, 18, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody. I had no connections of any kind whatsoever. And you could only go so far as sneaking in a small camera into an arena without being pulled out and told to leave. So I kind of just gave up on it after a while, but I always wanted to do it. It kind of got put on hold for a little while. In fact, I think the last concert before this gap was in 2014, and that was another festival that is no more. But then, like 10 years later, I picked it back up again, and God just opened doors for that. So it just wasn't the right time, I guess. But I'm a concert junkie. I'm a music lover. Both of my parents are, and we all played instruments, and music has been a huge part of our family. So I naturally just fell into that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what, if you don't mind, what state are you located in?
I'm located in Arkansas currently.
Okay. You know, we would love to have you in immersion,
Oh,
which will be
I
Labor
would
Day weekend.
I would love to be, and I've had some people ask me if I was going to be there, and maybe in the future, maybe next year. I know this year I didn't have the availability. I'm hoping to have more next year, and also praying a lot of the direction that God's taken me of. I can only do so much where I'm at, so when's another door going to potentially open, or do I need to do something else to get me closer to where I want to be? I want to do every festival I possibly can. I want to be in on that and make all those connections and make new friends, new family, and grow with other people. And the Lord has been faithful in that happening in steps. And so I'm a lot further today than I was 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago whenever I started. And I believe he'll keep opening that as it's needed. But immersion, yes, that is on my radar. And so we'll see what next year looks like. But if I could make it possible, trust me, I would be there. My dad is already like, can you just take time off from your other job that weekend? Like we can do this. We can make this happen. And he was looking at air flights of, hey, it don't cost really that much of a round trip. We can do this. And I was like, I know, but I can't. I have other responsibilities I have to take care of. But it's on the radar.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
What was the first concert you ever took photos of?
My gosh. What was the first concert? Oh my gosh. This is good. So Winter Jam 2006. I was 16, and this was before Winter Jam was what it is today, when they had, 5 bands instead of 20. And it was Toby Mac. He was headlining. And they were the worst photos ever. But you want to know my first concert? That was my very first one. And that was then I could sneak in a little camera and no one cared. And I was so proud of them, but they were awful.
Oh, man. And, you're just making me feel old. Here you are, you're like, in 2006 when I was 16, back when my dad used to listen to Van Halen and Aerosmith, I'm like, that's what I listen to.
Yeah, I listen to it. I still listen to the old, 90s, 2000 rocks. Yeah, I still listen to that. I don't care. I own it. We're still cool.
Youngins.
You and I are the old guys of the podcast. So,
I know. Every show we do, I just feel older and older. I'm going to come in with a walker next time. And
Oh my gosh.
Does the walker bling? Bling bling?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, you're still hip.
He's old. It has to be bejeweled.
Okay.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So, is there a band that you have not photographed yet that you're just like, this is the band that I want to do? Like, it is on your bucket list.
Yes, there's actually 2.
Okay.
So, Skillet, most definitely. I hope one day that door will open. And Flyleaf. Or Lacey Sturm, both together or separate, even if it's just her. But I've never seen Flyleaf, and I've never got to see Lacey Sturm by herself either. But that's definitely what I would love to happen.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love to see Flyleaf too. Oh man.
Yeah, all these years, everyone's seen them like, they never came to Arkansas. And when they were in Dallas earlier, for their 20th anniversary tour, I couldn't make it. Like, okay, there went my chance. But yeah.
I had an opportunity to see Flyleaf once, 16 years ago. My buddy called me up and said, "Hey, I got these tickets. Do you want to go?" Yes. I was so sick, I couldn't get out of bed and go. I was so bummed. I wanted to see that show. But
you couldn't go sick? I mean, no one would notice anything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that is such a bummer.
So tell us a little bit about you being at KCF. Like, the pictures you took absolutely just blow me away. Like, you've got such a great eye for that. How is that something that you've learned to do, or is that just like a natural skill? Tell us about. I'm just fascinated by you and what you do. I want to hear all about it.
I would say it's probably both. So in my 20s, when I was doing church ministry, I was on church staff, and I was their photographer, videographer. I did that media side of things. And I was already, I guess, kind of experienced when it came to photographing a band, like a worship band. So I would photograph the worship service. I already knew how to handle low light situations. I had a lot of practice with that. And I mean, concert photography is another form, in a way, of photojournalism. And so I already had a lot of practice of that throughout my 20s. And so being able to apply that to concerts, like I've been a photographer, I guess, about 20 years now. So I've had a lot of experience already under my belt. I already know how lighting works, and using my camera, you kind of get to a point where you don't have to think so much about what you're doing. You just see the change of anything and you just do it. That is something I've had about 20 years of experience developing over time. And I'm so grateful for it. I made lots of mistakes. You only learn from your mistakes. But I learned over the years in every chapter and every season of everything I ever did. And even in concert photography, I've learned so much that I didn't know before, and of course, still learning. But then because of that, yes, a lot of it does naturally come. I know already what I'm looking for. I know what I want to capture. That works about maybe 60-70% of the time, of course, because I can't predict everything a band is going to do or how they're going to be. So we kind of play off each other in a way, and the band doesn't know that exactly, but that's how I see it. And I know what I want. And I either go after it or I'm waiting for it. You kind of have to know where to discern to wait for it or to just go after it. And many bands are very photogenic. They're active. They pose so easily. And they want photos. And so we're friends naturally. And many bands do that. And I have fun in doing it. And other bands are, they have their own style and way that they do things. And so I have to learn the flow. Some bands pretty easy and quick. Other bands take a song or two of getting what their flow is, and like, okay, well, my approach to this band is going to be different than this other band. And that's good. It's unique, and it's a challenge too, in a good way, of how can I capture the best of this band, of their look and their feel and the kind of like visual image they want to represent. And so that's also a responsibility, and taking that into account.
Nice.
Have you ever had one of those moments where Holy Spirit was trying to get your attention to move your eyes somewhere for that photo, for that moment?
Yes, that has happened. And it's funny you say that, because when those moments have happened, I've been at the right place at the right time. So it wasn't like I was across, like on one side of the stage and, oh, that moment's happening way over there, because by the time I moved from here to there, it could be done. But no, like it would be moments where even before that person does a stance of some kind, it's kind of like I just knew, but I was already standing where I needed to stand. That's pretty cool. And that has happened multiple times. And then sometimes afterwards, I'm like, wow, I think God just did that. I wouldn't even realize in the moment it was happening until after it happened. It's like, wow. So that has happened.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yes.
So, not asking you to pick a favorite, but what is one of your favorite bands to to photograph? Like, you just know that if that band's there and you're there, you're going to get some great pictures.
I'm promoting their shirt right now. Drive Through Society. I love photographing them. They are such great people. They have a lot going on, probably because there's 5 of them, and so they're all doing something different, but they're all having fun, and they love to pose. And I photographed them 5 times so far this year. I have one more that I'm going to see them next month. But yeah, when I'm like, whoop, they're there, I'm there.
We just had them on last week, and we were making fun of Kathy and her rock face. So.
Yeah, I caught a couple of those before.
I'm just looking here at some of our comments. We got a bunch of people on YouTube commenting, saying hello to you and loving the pictures that you've done of Drive Through Society. So,
yeah, they're awesome, and there's so many bands. Like, they're one of my favorites. I'm not saying they're the favorite. I don't have an absolute favorite, but they are one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, that's like asking us, who's your favorite guest to have on? Erin Parker's our favorite.
Oh yeah, put that on a shirt.
So, has there ever been a time? I'm trying to think of how to phrase this correctly. Or it's just been, you go to take the picture and you're just like, nope, something about this just doesn't feel right about doing this concert. Or just like a weirdness about it.
I wouldn't say there's been yet a weirdness about like an uncomfortable. I don't think I've had that quite yet. But I have had times where I have felt, I need to say no to this, depending on what's the balance happening in my life at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have, the past 2 years especially, I was going to every concert, every festival I could get my hands on, just trying to build my portfolio and get more experience. And I did come to a point, especially last year, that it became too much. Like, I was getting very burned out and just couldn't, like, I was just wrestling in my mind and my heart. Like, I'm not resting. This is too much. And I know that if I did that for too long, that I might just not want to do it anymore. And I didn't want to get to that point. So especially last year, I felt that. And then this year, it's like, well, there's going to have to be some things I'm going to have to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
And because I need that balance in my life, because I do have another job and I have my family and I have my church and a small group and anything, like I need to give my time to and not pour all of myself into one thing. And so this year I have had times of when I make my schedule, which has been made a while now, but whenever I was making it at the beginning of the year, of like, okay, what do I know that I can give my energy to and where I need to place it somewhere else in the month? So I've been going month by month pretty much. And it's like, okay, I know that I want Kingdom Come and I know I want to do Chains Unchained. So that's definitely like I'm making space in my life that I'm going to have the energy to give to that and then to also recover, because it does wear you out. So I've had to discern, okay, what am I going to do this time? Do I need to balance this here? Do I need to rest here? And so there have been some concerts this year I have had to say no to. I need to step away, and those bands, I will see them again another time, and I will get to bless them another time, but this time, like, I need to stay home. So that's happened.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I was going to ask you, is photography what you do for a living, or do you have, like, another job, and this is, like, what you do for fun? Well, I'm not going to say fun, because it's... You take it seriously, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But is this how you make a living, or do you have something else that you do?
Well, I do have a full-time job. From the time I want to say maybe I was 24, is when I said I want to do this full-time. And it's extremely hard especially in the area that I live, unless you live in a more like city area like Northwest Arkansas or even Little Rock. But the area where I live, it's really hard to do any kind of art full time. And photography especially is extremely hard. But also, my passions were like kind of all over the place. So I had a hard time narrowing down what I wanted to do. But my ministry always has been photography. It's just looked different at different times. So even when I was doing the portrait and weddings, that was still a ministry. And then church ministry, that was a ministry, and camp ministry, like so forth. And so photography has always been my ministry. And I have at times been paid for it. When I was on church staff, I was employed through that. Now it's okay, I still want to do this more for a living. I do. If God opens that door, great. If not, great. But even today, I am thinking, okay, what are the next steps that I can get to where I want to be with this? So the goal is, yes, I want to move up and move forward and doing this more and hopefully full time at some point. It might just be something on the side for a long time, or we'll see. But my desire, no matter what season I've been, it's always been, I want to do this full time, but it hasn't exactly worked out the way I want it to. And opportunities have been scarce a lot. So there's some things I'm praying through right now of, okay, well, what do I need to do? Does that mean I need to move, which is not out of the cards exactly? Doing a lot more prayer about that, and just positioning myself in a better location. But still coming before God, like, okay, this is your ministry. You gave this to me, and I've been doing this most of my life, and I'm grateful for it. But it's still yours, and He can do with it what He wants. So we'll just see.
I was gonna say, it really is a ministry that you do. I can see how much the bands love and appreciate what you do. Some of the behind-the-scenes photos that we get to see, you praying with the bands, you praying with just the people at festivals. I mean, I think it would be silly for anyone to say, "Oh, she just goes and takes pictures." No, it's a ministry.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the ministry. It's really off stage than it is on, because majority of people, like, some would say, "Well, I didn't see an altar call." Well, altar calls don't look like going to the stage and praying. They can look like going to the band's merchandise tables and talking to the bands and pouring out to them, here's what's going on in my life, and they're praying for them. And that can do so much change in a person's life or accelerate them to the next thing. Like, that is what's happening at these shows. You have the hype that is drawing you to something more intimate that you don't really get to see unless you're actually at the event and you're walking around and you see what these bands are doing. And as a photographer, you get to be on the sidelines of that. And you're enhancing their ministry to keep going so that they can do that and many other places and touch more lives, people that you and I never get to meet. So there's huge ministry going on. It's just not as public as many others are, but it's still happening. It's still important.
For sure. Absolutely. All right,
I'm
guys.
really grateful that you do this. In a world filled with AI now,
oh man,
I'm sure that makes it so hard for you too. But I'm grateful that you're still pushing to do this, because we still need that genuine, that realism so badly.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just me. There's many of us out there putting our heart and soul into it.
Yeah. And, I mean, you're just the first step in our series. We're going to highlight like these unsung heroes of festival life. Like you, like, honestly, the bands are important, but you're important. Like, you are documenting what they're doing. You're out there working this ministry that roughly goes unseen, or not really unseen, because people see the photos, but they don't see you behind it, where they see the bands. So we want to highlight you and Chad and whoever else is out there taking these photos. We want to say, hey, look, these people are bringing this to you.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it and we love it. We love it whenever people get photos of us in the wild, like in our action poses, whatever, and our weird stances with, one leg in the air. Just, we love it when fans get photos of us and send them to us. We love it. So, anyone listening and you see a photographer in action, like get a photo of them with your phone. We adore it. We want it.
Sometimes you guys get sneaky pictures though. Last year, Undead, my friend Kaylee, she's going to be on next week. She got a picture of me crying and her daughter was hugging me and it was an ugly cry. And I had no idea she was over there taking pictures. And yes, it was full of love and all that stuff. But for me, I was like, so I got to make fun of her every time I see her. I'm like, you got that picture of me.
Oh, she's got to bring
Yeah.
that picture with her so we can see it.
That was
that's-
when I met. That's when I met End of Eye, and I heard their testimony, and I was ugly crying.
Yeah, that's a sign of a good photographer that they can be sneaky like that and capture a moment like that when no one sees them. Okay, so go Kaylee.
I know. I can still roll my eyes.
So one
Also,
important-
Rob in the chat really quick. I just wanted to say, he said, "You rock, Erin. You always get his good side." And he said, "Love the pics Erin took of me so much. I sent to my mom."
Oh, I love it. It's good to hear that.
Yep, Rob is a good friend of ours, and
Rob's a good dude. We love
Rob
Rob
is a
around
good
here.
dude. So, one important part of our show is we always ask our guests for their testimony. Can you tell us how you came to know Christ?
Absolutely. I love sharing my testimony. I grew up in church my whole life. Both my parents are Christians. And there was a time, I guess, let's see, I didn't really think much about Jesus as a child. And I was probably 7 whenever my brother gave his life to Christ. And so he's 2 years older than me. So he was baptized. And I'm like, the sibling thought, well, my brother is not going to do anything that I can't also do. So, according to my mom, I prayed a prayer that I have no memory of to this day. But I prayed a prayer and I was baptized. That I do remember. I was 7 and I didn't know what I did, but I'm like, I'm saved, like, I'm fine. And so we moved from South Louisiana to Arkansas when I was almost 10. So this was 1999. And that was adolescence. And it was really a hard move. And I had a crush on a boy, my first crush, my first broken heart. Um, I wasn't, I didn't fit in with people. I didn't have many friends, peers. I had a lot of rejection that I dealt with at a very young age and carried it with me to Arkansas. And so I had a lot that I was wrestling with. And around 13 is, I was I was also homeschooled, and my brother was allowed to go to public school, and I wasn't, and I had resentment with that, and so I was also angry. And I would pray to God and really bring my hurts to him and didn't really feel like he was listening. And I came to a point that for the first time I cut myself with a stick because I was hurting so bad and I couldn't tell anybody. And I didn't see that on a movie or on a TV show or anything like that, but it just naturally came to start battling depression.
Hmm.
But at 13, I was making some decisions like listening to really bad music behind my parents' back. Was watching things on TV when they weren't around that I shouldn't have been watching. And so I was already developing a very rebelliousness in my mind. And I even decided, like, if I was allowed to go to public schools, I'm telling what other things I would do, but just things that were not right, in the sight of the Lord. And I was already thinking about these things. And along with the guy I had a crush on, my first broken heart, I was just done for. My youth group went to something, I don't know if they exist today, but it was a Heaven and Hell House drama. I don't know if y'all ever heard of those. Have y'all?
I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's kind of like this, it's a drama that you could either walk in or you sit on and watch this. It's a drama of telling you about really what heaven and hell is. So it was a walk-in drama where we went room to room to room, and we followed a scenario of a person who didn't want to give their life to Christ, and they died and they went to hell. And then they wish someone would have told them about Jesus. It's kind of like, some people might call them a scare drama today, because it kind of scares you into heaven. And it did do that to me. But the thing with this drama, it was the first time that I realized, I could die tonight. If I, go home tonight, we could get in a car accident and I'm dead. I'd never had that reality before. And this drama helped me realize that, I'm not guaranteed my next breath. I'm not guaranteed the next day. Do I know Jesus? And like, okay, why do I want to know Jesus? I've already been hurt so far in my life. But then there came the heaven part, where they talked about, like, this is where Jesus comes in, and here's what he did for your sins. Like, it was so grand in that moment, where I've heard about Jesus my whole life, and I know what it meant to give your life to Christ, but it didn't become real to me until this moment where I felt God saying, I want a relationship with you. And so I responded, and we went into a tent, and then some guy discussed with us what we just saw. And I didn't hear anything that man said. And this was like almost midnight on October 30th, 2002. I remember the date. I remember what I was wearing. In that chair, in that tent with all these people, I gave my life to Christ. And I was in tears. And I said, God, I want to be used by you. I want to be a vessel for you. I am new. You are my God. And you love me despite this guy that doesn't love me, at 13. Like, there's many more crushes to come. But it was a real thing for me in that time. And a lot of that stuff didn't change like right away. It came with time, but I knew, okay, I'm living my life for Jesus. I don't want to think about listening to that music anymore, or watching those TV shows I shouldn't be doing, or even the thought of hanging out with the wrong people. Like, I don't want to do that no more. And so I took a 360 and said, okay, I'm following Jesus, and discipleship, carried me through. That's how I came to know him.
Love that. That is such an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that.
Have you ever struggled with your faith since then?
Oh, absolutely. I'm putting my phone here to get some light in. Absolutely. Actually, 2 years ago, I went through a really bad situationship that happened in my life. And I came to the point where, I was, yeah, see how, um, I, for 20 years of walking in my faith, it was the first time that I questioned, do I even want to follow Jesus anymore? Do I really want to continue in this? Because I was so hurt, and I felt such betrayal, and I was lied to, and really felt like that I couldn't, like, God, you allowed so much of this to happen. And there was a lot in between those 20 years that added up to that. But yeah, I was like, I realized my faith was not as strong as I thought it was. And so, yes, that has happened. And it's been an amazing journey the past 2 years, 2.5 years of him still staying by my side, helping to rebuild my faith, little by little. And, just coming down where I am at my level of my way of thinking, and just gently and patiently speaking truth and love into me. And so it's been a journey. It's been a good journey.
I don't
Thank
know
you
if
for
you can.
sharing that.
I don't know if you can see the comments on Facebook, but people are thanking you for your testimony, and they're saying that everything you're saying is so powerful. So thank you for that.
Well, I hope it is. I've prayed so much of, like, there's more to my ministry than photography. Okay, like, photography is a tool. I know that we're called for more. I'm called for more, and I'm like, God, ministry wise, like, what more am I supposed to be doing? Because anyone can take photographs, some better than others, but anyone can do that, and then it can also be taken away from me at any time. Um, so, like, there's more to ministry than the physically of what I'm doing. Like, where's my role in my voice, and the stories that God has walked me through, the testimonies that I have? What does he want to do more with me with photography? How does that mesh together? I still don't really quite know. Maybe tonight's the first time of really seeing that. But yeah, I love sharing what God has done in my life, and to continue sharing what he is doing.
And I have a feeling you're going to have so many more opportunities to share your ministry with people. It's what you do is fantastic. You're testimony is so powerful. Like, honestly, I can see you doing, like, speaking, like getting up on stage and sharing that testimony with people. Like, even at a show, like, band gets done playing, they're like, all right, here's Erin Parker, and you come up and share your testimony and just share what God has done for you. Like, it's that powerful. I am watching the comments, and people are just really moved by what you're saying. So
I hope so. Exhortation is my spiritual gift. So speaking comes naturally. I mean, I'm fine to just stop anywhere. Like, yeah, let's talk about Jesus, and just I'm also here for the people of what is going on in their lives and their heart, and to hear where they're walking through, and just encourage each other.
So, I did want to ask you, how did you get connected with Autumn Eve? Because
So
that last single, you took the photo for it, and
yes,
when we had her on, I was posting the picture, and she's like, "Make sure you tag Erin in this."
she goes above and beyond to credit me, and I do appreciate it. So I met her. Well, we started following each other on social media. I want to say a couple months prior to KCF in 2025, but that was in 2025 at KCF was the first time we actually met, and I was assigned to be responsible for her set. So meaning I was editing on the fly for her set. So I was the first photographer for that. That's how I met her actually. And just kind of just went from there. And she's come through Arkansas before, and we've hung out. And then I went to photograph her in Nashville earlier this year, and we did a little photo shoot in downtown Broadway, and that was a lot of fun, and that was also challenging in a good way. I love being challenged in those ways because she's like, we have 30 seconds to pull off on the side of the road here to take some photos. I'm like, 30 seconds? Yeah, I'm ready to get back in the car and go. I was like, oh. And so I had to have my settings and everything ready, no test photos or anything, just go. And we did it several times down Broadway, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's pretty much how we've been connected. And that photo for her single we took in front of, I forget what it's called, but it was purple, and she really wanted the purple to pop out, and I'm really glad that photo came out really, really well.
It's a fantastic
Yeah, so that's how we know each other. Yeah,
Nice.
and hopefully we get to work together some more. There's been a couple times where I haven't been available, but I'll be seeing her again in October. She'll be at Rock in the River, so I get to photograph her again.
Yay.
So, have you done any other covers for any other bands? Anyone else used your photos?
As of right now, besides Autumn Eve, Dojo Saints. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yep.
So yeah, I've done a few of their promos. I also did some little video clips for Tricord when they had their single that was released earlier this year. They had little snippets of Jermaine and B. Wade in that little section of the song. And they posted those throughout, I don't know, a few weeks, of each other. So that's kind of what I've done so far. I do want more opportunity to do more. I would love to do that kind of thing more for bands and actually plan some stuff out, go scout like locations and do that. But right now, that area of my career is very small, but I want to expand on that.
So, real quick, someone on YouTube that I'm guessing you may know, Kara Parker, says, "Hi, Erin."
That's my sister-in-law.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
she's pretty supportive.
Very nice. So, what comes next for you? I know you said you got you got another festival coming up in a couple months. Any
Yeah.
local shows coming up?
Let's see. Well, on the 22nd, which just so happens to be my birthday, I'm going to be going to Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and Seventh Day Slumber, Maglin Rose, and 13 Minutes, our friends 13 Minutes, are going to be putting on a show there for an organization that aids in awareness and education, as well as help for those who are victims of human trafficking. And so I'm happy I get to be a part of that. So that's actually the next show that I have. and then the other ones that I mentioned already. I believe there will be Wreck the Halls in December, but I'm waiting on dates for that and just waiting on that one. But that's pretty much what I have so far.
Awesome.
Yeah, Chad in the comments said you didn't assist on the 13 minutes band photo shoot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. About almost 2 years ago, me and Jennifer and Chad, we went at midnight down the old downtown of Harrison, Arkansas with 13 minutes, and we did do a photo shoot down there. That was a lot of fun. I almost forgot about that. Thanks, Chad.
I love seeing the support for you in the comments section. Like everyone's like, "Yes, Erin."
Okay, I can't see anything. I'm using my phone to light up my face right now because the sun is setting. So I don't know what anyone's saying. I'll go back and read it afterwards. But it's good to hear support. It's very encouraging. I know that like in the rock community, I feel such huge support, and that there's so many people I call friends. A lot of times outside of that, in my normal everyday life, I feel like it's a lot less. I mean, there are some people who do support, but the expression of it is very mild, I guess you would say, and that's okay. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm doing this for Jesus, and I'm grateful for any support I have, and I'm focusing only on that. But it is always encouraging, affirming to hear people say, "You're doing a good job. We love what you do. We're supporting you." And some people have already financially started to support me this year, which I'm so grateful for. Because it really does help. My full-time job does fund everything that I do, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm not hurting in any way. God has provided that, hey, I'm leading you in this ministry, so he's providing everything for that. So, and he's been faithful with it.
God is
Wow,
good.
beautiful. So how many times? Okay, I've noticed. At least I've noticed. I haven't. You've probably been to more shows than I have, but there's always one band member in every band that just stands there. So like is completely blank. Like what is that about? And is that hard to why do I keep saying that wrong? Photographer.
That does happen quite a bit. And I will say, yes, it is. We get what we can. There have been some people that they're so down. I mean, you can't even see their face. And I'm trying to get up in their face, but it's dark. And so, yeah, there is always that one. I'm sure like they're still talented and skilled at what they do, but some people can do stage presence very well. Some, have to learn it, and then some they're just there. There have been a few bands where everyone in the band is active and going crazy, and yeah, and then there's like it's often a bass player. Sorry, bass player. sorry, but it is often a bass player that's all the way in the corner, just doing their thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we get what we can, and we want them to be included. So it may not be as the greatest creative shots at times, but we definitely include them because they're a huge part of the band and very important.
Agreed, 100%. I've just definitely noticed there's always, and it's usually a bass player. It's so funny.
It usually is, yeah.
The best example of that is Justin from Righteous Vendetta. That guy has a 1,000-yard stare that he finds one spot, doesn't move, and just stares and plays. Like, music is fantastic. I used to ask him all the time, like, bro, like, where do you go? Like, no movement, just playing.
Yeah. We still love him.
Still love him. I give him grief about it all the time still. Even though he's retired and married with 2 kids, I still give him grief. But before we wrap up, because I can't believe it, we are almost to our hour already. It doesn't even seem like it. It seems like we just got started.
I've enjoyed this. It's been so much fun.
When people come on, I'm like, it's like you're coming on and talking with family. I mean, really. That's what we want it to be. So I'm going to let my 2 co-hosts talk because I feel like I've talked most of the time before we get into prayer. So, guys, what do you got for Erin before we go into prayer?
No, I just wanted to say that KCF this year, it was kind of cool to see you have a little entourage with your dad and everybody wearing I'm with Erin or Erin's whatever.
That was cool.
and you had posted about it beforehand, so I kind of knew what to expect. But still, that was really cool seeing your
Yeah.
family rally around here.
Yeah, and he wears them at every show that he comes with me. He's got extras, so you want one, he can get you one. Those say Aaron's friend. His says Aaron's dad, but he's got those that say Aaron's friend.
Jeremy, I think we need those shirts. Kira,
Yep.
we all need those
Yep.
shirts. You need that shirt
do.
for your
We would-
wall.
We would,
You can get
I
them
would
for
I
you.
totally
got
rock it,
space.
yeah.
We would even let you take down the Rock for Him shirt to put Aaron's friends up on there.
Oh,
No, I would cover one of these. Don't worry. Don't worry. So I have
Okay.
a question. What was your most challenging photo shoot?
oh boy. You mean like band that I photographed? Like
Mhm.
live?
Yeah.
I love telling this story, and I hope that no one takes it in an offensive way because it's not bad. But probably my most challenging band was No Treaty.
Hmm.
And I had no preparation before them. I mean, I kind of did. I loved the energy that they brought. I loved everything about it, but it was very challenging. Whenever they were at Chains and Chain last year, they took their floor monitors and turned them to the audience. I was like, uh-oh, what does that mean? And no band does that. And when Danny got on stage, man, like the culture that band created with that audience, it was so amazing. I loved it, and I'll never forget it. But they were everywhere and switching my hands of microphones and all kind of, I could not keep up with Danny, and he would jump off stage in the pit and then back on stage. And those are two different lighting situations. One is
Oh,
light,
yeah.
one is dark. Oh boy, I'm doing illegal things with my camera trying to get these photographs, and thankfully I got many good ones. But it was, I loved how challenging it was. It was good for me. And I look back at that memory of I would definitely do it again. Would have loved to have done it again. They're not a band anymore today, but I always go to them, and I told Danny afterwards, man, you had me chasing you like crazy. I mean, I got rug burn, and so I love telling that story though, and if I could do it again, I definitely would. But that would be my most challenging band that I would say so far I have photographed.
That makes sense. I was at a few of their shows last year, and I'm so grateful I got to see them before everything fell apart. They
Yeah.
are amazing, but that is definitely an intense show. Like you could go in there tired and just like done with your day, and then they start playing, and you're just, yeah, you're amped up. It's amazing.
Oh, they had that crowd amped up, and I was very impressed. So
Yeah.
impressed. And that was a good first impression too.
Woo. Oh, I miss those guys.
Yeah, me too.
So,
So
on the flip side, who's been your easiest?
I think honestly my easiest band has probably been Chaotic Resemblance. They're pretty easy, and they're fun. I have
Yep.
photographed them multiple times. I think I've lost count how many I have so far. They are another one of those bands that wherever they're at, if I can get there, I'm gonna be there. But they're they're pretty easy. And I've photographed them enough that I kind of know their set. Doesn't matter how often they switch out their songs, I kind of know what they're gonna do. So I get their flow and I get their energy, and so there are certain moments that I know are coming, and I know when they happen. This it's they're pretty easy, and I like them.
Yay.
All right, I have two more questions that I just thought of.
Okay.
One, who has the best rock face that you've taken pictures of so far? Like when you're up there, they just give you that.
Okay. It's gonna be between two bands. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Convictions and Draw on the Planet.
I
I
can see that.
yeah, intense.
Love it. So see, Kathy, step up your game.
Need to give her a microphone and see what she can do with it.
That's right. All right, the last question I have. Seeing some of the behind the scenes photos, like like you'd said earlier, you love it when people out in the crowd get pictures of you getting pictures. You contort yourself into some, I don't know how you get into these positions to get the perfect pictures. How sore are you by the end of a festival, by end of a concert? So, I mean, I've seen some where you've got your legs stretched way out and you're like twisted. Like, I'm like, it would take me a month to recover.
We have done some pretty intense poses, especially Chad. I've gotten some of him. Honestly, I don't think I could need to knock on wood somewhere. I'm not really sore so much as I am like mentally drained and tired. I also do work out, so that probably helps. I can run and rip and do anything and not feel soreness for a while, depending on what it is. Obviously, if I'm doing something very drastic, that's a whole nother thing. But I don't really feel sore, as I will feel very tired of just the amount of energy that I put forth the next day. So I do feel that, but I haven't felt, of course, as I get older, that will probably change. I haven't felt any extreme soreness of any kind, but I do at times, if I'm wearing like a backpack or anything strapped on my shoulder for a long period of time, like the carry gear. Now then I will feel something, especially in my lower back, because they'll kind of, with the weight, you'll start to kind of curve your body in a way that is just, the posture is terrible. You don't realize you're doing it for long periods of time. And so that has happened. And so I try not to carry anything extra on me if I can help it, and just keep going.
Awesome. Okay. So I will, well, before we get into prayer, I'm going to ask my co-host, Kira, you got any more questions?
Nope, just a statement. Sounds like you need to work out.
Wow.
Sorry. What was it you did? You like jumped and then you got hurt.
Okay, listen. All right, I'm going to tell the story. My church was in a Memorial Day parade. I was in a side-by-side. I decided that I was going to jump off and toss some candy to some kids, and I threw out my back for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's rough.
That's why I'm making fun of him just a little bit, you know, as his little sister.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm old and out of shape. I get it.
You rock what you got. That's an old Super Chick song, by the way. Now I'm showing my age.
My little sister's gone for 2 weeks, and she comes back to rag on me. I love it. All right, Jeremy, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right. So, Erin, how can we be praying for you tonight?
Just pray on, like, what's the next direction that God has for me. I'm already praying about a lot of things of what that looks like, and that just prepare my heart to go, prepare me to go, prepare my life to go in the direction He wants. Because I do want to move more forward in what I'm doing, and just that God will provide everything that is needed, and the clarity and the peace to go forward and when it's time.
All right. All right, I am going to go ahead and... Sorry, I happen to look over and I see everyone's giving Kira grief now for elder abuse. I love how people in the chat are now calling me old. All right, I'm going to pray before I get angry. Great and Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for Erin and what she does. Lord, I ask that you just continue to watch over her and bless her in all things that she does, Lord. You have given her such a gift, and so many people love her and appreciate her for that. Lord, just continue to guide her on the direction that you want her to go in. Keep her focused on you. Prepare her heart for what comes next, Lord, and continue to just provide for you just as you always have, and put a hedge of protection around her. Keep her safe while she's out there, And again, we thank you so much for her and her ministry. But most of all, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, dying for our sins on that cross. In Jesus' holy and precious name, amen.
Amen.
All right, Erin. Thank you so much. And remember, don't leave after the live stream ends. Because, Kira, it's been a while. You know what to do.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone in the chat for joining in. It's been fun, and we appreciate all of the words of encouragement and love that everyone's shown Erin. Erin, it's been such a pleasure to meet you. I can't wait to see what you're about to do in life and what God has for you. And just remember, guys, if you're going to rock, rock for Him.
If you like what you saw today, hit the subscribe and like button down below, and don't forget to share it to all your friends. Also, leave us a comment down below. If you're gonna rock, rock for Him.
Coming up next week on Rock for Him, we continue our series on unsung heroes, and we talk to Katie Slater.